Hey guys, it's Katie, and I'm here today to do a very different kind of video. This was inspired by Cara from Wilde Book Garden. She commented down in my hiatus video and gave me this really cool idea, and that is to give you very specific genre slash topic recommendations. Before, I've done kind of like, my why I love videos, and I've done kind of recommendations within those, but they haven't been on a specific area or a specific topic. So today, that topic is literally my brand in real life. So if you guys know me or if you talk to me at any point about any of my outside life, you'd know I love everything about ancient, medieval, and Renaissance history and everything that goes along with it. So today, my recommendations are going to be books and primarily primary sources on the Black Plague. And I'm literally going to only focus on the 1348 plague because there were several outbreaks prior and post to the 1348 plague. But that's the one that's most well known and has a lot of things that came out of it. That was arguably one of the biggest outbreaks because it took out 2/3 of Europe. So that's what I'm going to do for you guys today. I've got 3 recs, roughly, that are all about the Black Plague. And so let's just jump right on in. Before I launch into talking about the books that I'm going to recommend to you guys today, I'm going to give you a brief history lesson. So that I am actually quite qualified to talk to you guys about the Black Death. I wrote a 50-page paper on how the Black Death influenced literature, art, and architecture, etc. in the thesis for my medieval studies major. So I have a lot to say about this topic, and if you want to know more about it rather than just the few things that I'm going to talk to you about, definitely feel free to contact me either on Twitter or in the comments or something, and we can have like a full-blown conversation about it. But basically, brief history, Black Death was originated in Asia, and it is caused by fleas. Fleas bite rats, infected rats, and then the fleas then in turn around and bite humans. I mean, that is one way that it was spread. There are many different ways that it was arguably spread. There's actually some controversy slash disputes within the historical world about where it actually came from in the first place, but that is the theory that I abide by. Just go with it. And what ended up happening to each of these people is once they were bitten by an infected animal or flea, then they would develop these symptoms and these things that are called buboes. They're like these inflamed lymph nodes, and ultimately they would die. I mean, there's a lot of scientific stuff that goes into it. I'm not going to really focus on that in this video, but some of the primary sources that I'm going to give you talk a little bit about it in gritty detail. So if you want to know more about that, definitely check out some of the sources I'm going to talk to you about. But first, as I might have mentioned, you can't talk about this topic without talking about the nursery rhyme, Ring Around the Rosie. And that's because that nursery rhyme is literally all about the Black Death. And I'm going to break it down for you real easy. So the first line is Ring Around the Rosie. So you had this ring, this red ring around your stomach. It signified people who had the plague. So it's having this ring around your stomach. A pocket full of posies. So people would carry around these flowers to cover the stench of death. Ashes, ashes. Once the people died, they burned the bodies, and you had all of these ash floating around, and then they all fall down. They all die. So that is a rough analysis of basically what that nursery rhyme is all about. And on that note, let's turn to some of the sources that I want to talk about. So the first one I'm going to talk to you guys about is arguably the most well-known and widely read account of the Black Plague, the Decameron by Giovanni Boccaccio. This is basically a 10-day account of what happens to a person who contracts the Black Plague. It's kind of walking you through the nitty-gritty details of what someone with the plague gets. And it spans 10 days. That's why it's called the Decameron, it's 10 days. And as I said, it's the most well-known plague literature out there, and it is a primary source document because Boccaccio was living in Italy during the time of the plague. The second piece of literature I want to talk to you guys about today is by Francesco Petrarch, and it is called Epistulae de Rebus Familiaribus et Viriae, and that also has a really good account of the Black Plague. If you guys want to know what the translation of that work is, it's loosely translated to the familiar letters of things. You just type in the title in Google and like a whole ton of stuff will pop up, or you could just go into Google and type in like Petrarch on the plague and you'll get a whole bunch of stuff, because Petrarch's stuff is like hella old and you can find it all over the internet really easily. The same with the Decameron, actually. Then the last piece of literature I'm going to give to you guys today might surprise some of you because it actually doesn't explicitly reference the Black Plague in his works, but it is still present because he was writing a societal kind of commentary of the time period, and he was living during this period of time, and that is the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. He lived during the Black Plague, and he wrote the Canterbury Tales as kind of a societal piece of things that were going on during the time that he was living, and the Black Death was definitely something that was very prominent during the time that he was living because it lasted for quite a long time. So it shows up in obscure ways because, you know, of the time he was writing about and how prevalent it was. It's definitely something that pops up there. Anyway, those are the three primary source plague works I'm going to recommend to you guys today. I have tons and tons and tons of secondary source things that talk about the plague if you are interested in learning more. There are also some other primary source documents that I have not read yet, but I definitely plan to. There are also other things that, other books and actual novels that I'm planning on reading in the future that also talk about the plague. Like, just honestly, if I find out a book mentions the Black Death in it in some way, shape, or form, I'm going to be all over it. I love the Black Death. It's weird, I know, but it's one of the most fascinating areas of history, and there's so much within that specific time period that really gives you an extra insight into a lot of different things throughout the society. So I just love it. I've loved it since I was, 11 or 12? Like, it's just always fascinated me. So, yeah, I'll just wander around talking about how much I love the Black Death, and will I get weird looks periodically? Yes. Do I care? No. That is what you get for having interests like I do. Anyway, that's about all I've got for you guys today. If you've read any of these or are planning on reading any of these or want more information on the Black Death, feel free to leave a comment down below or come talk to me on social media. But other than that, you guys know the drill, and I have both of my social media links down below. I have a Twitter, which is @ASeaofTomes, which is the same as this channel. And I also have a Goodreads page, which you really won't see me on much in the next couple of months, because I am preparing for the bar, if you don't already know, but feel free to go follow me over there anyway, so you can keep track of my progress of things and see generally what I've been up to, general thoughts before I come and scream at you guys over here about it. And I will catch you later in another video soon. Bye!